This thunder carried within it world annihilation, woven from the essence of extinction itself. Its very existence was the source of all darkness in heaven and earth, the embodiment of death and destruction. The instant Wang Lin's eyes opened, no golden light shone within them, only pitch-black darkness. That darkness swallowed his pupils and, at a speed visible to the naked eye, turned all his hair into the same black shade. Black hair, black eyes, a blackened Wang Lin. I wonder if, in my current state, I can break through the first layer of heavenly venerable ascension. A smile touched Wang Lin's lips, but the sight of that smile would chill anyone to the marrow. For what his smile revealed was not joy, but cruelty. In the distance, Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable shivered the moment she saw his expression. Her entire body turned cold, as though the man before her was a stranger, no longer the Wang Lin she once knew. This black-haired Wang Lin radiated such a terrifying presence that she felt an instinctive fear, as though facing her natural predator. Her body trembled, and she stumbled back several steps. And from the void, the enormous finger that had appeared slowly began to withdraw. Within that nothingness, two pairs of eyes glimmered faintly, filled with shock. Slaughter, let it begin. As Wang Lin's black hair whipped about, his body erupted with a deafening roar. Black thunder burst into existence, coiling around him. He threw his head back with a roar, surging toward the hundreds of figures rushing to meet him. These hundreds of men had long since cast aside their fear of death. They were death warriors, trained to complete their mission at the cost of their lives. Their emotions had been crushed until they were nearly erased. Yet at the sight of black-haired Wang Lin's roar and oncoming stride, their hearts trembled. But there was no path of retreat left. With grim resolve, they charged together. Wang Lin's mouth twisted into a cruel grin, madness burning in his eyes. He strode forward, lifted his right hand, and with a sudden sweep, unleashed black thunder that thundered forth, weaving into a vast net of lightning. As the net descended, dozens of the warriors in the vanguard self-detonated at once. Explosions shook the sky, their suicidal power colliding with the thunder net. But strangely, though their sacrifice could have torn apart heaven and earth, before the black net it was as fragile as paper. The net shredded their power and scattered into countless strands, surging forward. Those struck by the thunder instantly convulsed, their bodies shattering to dust. Wang Lin moved like the wind. Thunder continuously burst from his body, annihilating every figure in his path. In a flash, he appeared behind a silhouette blurred by wind and snow. His right hand extended, tapping the figure. Black thunder flared, and with a shudder, the cultivator exploded. Wang Lin's body flickered, slaughtering endlessly. He seemed tireless, immune to pain. Even when waves of self-destruction struck him, they could not make him falter. Form the array. In only a few breaths, half the warriors had fallen beneath his thunder. With a low growl, one survivor gathered the rest. A strange formation blazed to life, shaking the earth. The ground's energy surged upward, channeling into the array, forming a colossal black hand that lunged to seize Wang Lin. But Wang Lin did not stop. Raising both hands, he summoned hundreds of bolts of black thunder. Filled with slaughter and destruction, they became tendrils of black smoke, engulfing him until he resembled a meteor forged of thunder, streaking toward the hand. Boom, boom, boom. The giant hand shattered, the 100 cultivators within the array obliterated in an instant. Wang Lin staggered forward, blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. Yet his eyes only grew wilder. Just as he stepped onward, ripples quivered in the void ahead. That colossal finger reappeared, striking down at the center of his brow. All existence shall become nothing. The strange voice echoed with the finger's descent. But Wang Lin's head snapped up, eyes blazing with madness that refused to fade. Destruction itself exists to turn all into nothingness. And you, with only that pitiful power, dare attempt to erase me. With a roar, he swung his fist. The punch warped the void itself, a muffled groan echoing within. Ripples spread, and the finger at his brow instantly dissolved. At that very moment, along both sides of the long street, thousands of indistinct figures appeared out of thin air. As one, they surged toward Wang Lin. Cruelty thickened at the corner of Wang Lin's lips, his eyes flooded with madness. He spun suddenly, his long black hair whipping up and stretching into countless strands that shot in every direction, colliding in an instant with the thousands of figures before him. The heavens rumbled. At the very moment the black hair touched them, all those thousands of figures chose self-detonation, forming a vortex of destruction vast enough to shatter heaven and earth, engulfing Wang Lin's body. Amid the thunderous roar, Wang Lin spat out a mouthful of blood. Yet most of that devastating force was blocked by the countless bolts of slaughter thunder radiating from his body. On the long street, thousands more figures appeared. Behind them, another wave of thousands materialized. This time, their slaughter formation had to succeed. Wang Lin's face twisted with ferocity. Throwing back his head, he roared, and with his right hand he clawed viciously at his chest. Heavenly Ox Soul Armor, get out of me! With a low snarl, he tore at his chest and ripped out a phantom Heavenly Ox Soul, flinging it away. The soul armor vanished from his body. As the armor left, the madness in Wang Lin's eyes dissolved into a dead, eerie calm. Yet at the corner of his lips, that cruel smile remained. Losing the soul armor instantly weakened his cultivation, but at the same time, the aura of slaughter and destruction around him surged several times stronger. Dark mist spread thickly from his body. With a sudden lurch, he charged straight into the sea of thousands. Slaughter erupted. In the trembling mind of Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable, Wang Lin was like a demon head. With every kill, another black strand appeared around him. With every kill, Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable's sense of unfamiliarity with Wang Lin deepened. Madness reigned. Moments later, after he tore apart thousands of figures, Wang Lin's body was shrouded by an endless tide of black aura, hiding his form completely. Just then, outside the black mist, the missing finger reappeared, stabbing viciously toward him. But before it could land, Wang Lin's right hand shot out, seized it, and with wild laughter he yanked hard. With that pull, half an arm was dragged into the world. Come out! Wang Lin roared, slamming his head into it. Heaven and earth quaked as the arm shattered, and from the void came a muffled groan of pain. All of you, enter this place and obliterate him. A voice filled with slaughter echoed from the void. At once, figures began materializing rapidly along both sides of the long street. In a blink, tens of thousands emerged, filling every space. They ignored Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable entirely, surging straight toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin staggered back a few steps, his body cloaked in thick black mist. His eyes were lifeless, his cruel smile oddly at odds with the stillness within them. Suddenly, he raised his right hand and struck his brow hard. 5 Elements Avatar, get out of me! His body shuddered violently. A shadow overlapped with his form, and the 5 Elements Avatar was forcibly expelled from his body. The Avatar reeled backward, its face solemn, and appeared beside Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable, watching intently. Meanwhile, the black-haired Wang Lin, having lost the 5 Elements Avatar, saw his cultivation plummet again. Yet the aura of slaughter around him grew even more refined, sharp as a blade. Seal Origin out. Primordial Origin out. Thunder Origin out as well. Within the black mist, Wang Lin's guttural roars expelled one origin after another from his body. As the tens of thousands of figures closed in, the lifeless-eyed Wang Lin suddenly lifted his head. The cruel smile had faded somewhat, leaving only a still emptiness. With a lunge, he crashed into the oncoming tide. Explosions boomed endlessly. Soon, Wang Lin spewed blood, his body on the verge of collapse. Even his strength could not withstand the bombardment of tens of thousands. Void of life and death, cause and effect, truth and falsehood, out. Wang Lin's final roar shook the air. His body trembled, and the 3 great void origins were ripped from him. Now, the black-haired Wang Lin had only 2 origins left within him: extinction and slaughter. No avatars, no fragments, only this true body. At that instant, the black mist around him contracted violently, forming a black robe that draped over his frame. His hair turned pitch black, his eyes lifeless, his smile gone. He looked like the incarnation of death itself. He gazed calmly at the tens of thousands rushing toward him, then slowly closed his eyes. In that instant, every one of those tens of thousands shuddered. And when Wang Lin reopened his eyes, they all dissolved into smoke before him, vanishing without a trace. What dissipated was not only the long street and the houses lining both sides, but everything fell silent, vanishing into the dust of history, becoming ruins. Even the falling snow and wind turned black as they descended. Seal the fate of the heaven of death, imprint upon the Nether dynasty. Those who cannot attain the true Tao will forever sink into the bitter sea, lose the true Tao for eternity, and thus must devote themselves to cultivation. Wang Lin murmured. His right hand lifted, grabbing hold of the finger that suddenly appeared beside him, pointing toward him. With a light squeeze. Crack! The finger shattered in his grasp. With a pull, Wang Lin dragged out a figure radiating white light from the void itself. You are not the national master. Without even glancing, Wang Lin released the figure from his grasp only to seize its throat, squeezing again. The figure trembled violently before collapsing with a roar. You are not Wang Lin. Who are you? The terrified voice of Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable echoed through the silent night. The black-haired Wang Lin turned, coldly fixing his gaze upon Haizi, walking toward him step by step. Wang Lin? I am not called Wang Lin. My name should be Slaughter. Silence. The black-haired Wang Lin's steps were slow, his expression devoid of emotion, chilling to the extreme. Beside Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable, Wang Lin's 5 elements avatar wore a grave expression. Around it circled Thunder Origin, Primordial Origin, and 3 other void origins, glowing softly as if to stand against the black-haired Wang Lin approaching. Slaughter descends upon the world, replacing light with annihilation. All beings must endure the immeasurable tribulation. As fear filled Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable's eyes, and he retreated, the 5 elements avatar stepped forward, surrounded by countless origins, blocking the black-haired Wang Lin. You are nothing more than the condensation of my 5 elements avatar and origins, yet you wish to block me? The black-haired Wang Lin stared coldly. My existence means only slaughter and destruction. Without that, I will not return. You disperse. His eyes devoid of light, he raised his right hand and swept it down. The 5 elements avatar struggled, but its body collapsed in a thunderous roar, transforming into streams of origin. These merged with the remaining 5 origins, rushing into the black-haired Wang Lin's right hand, vanishing within. Now tell me, who are you? The black-haired Wang Lin halted before Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable, his voice eerie and dripping with killing intent. Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable's face turned pale. He opened his mouth as if to speak, but no words came. Jiudi never invited me to the Dishan Empire, did he? This entire slaughter scheme, you were the bait to draw me out, wasn't it? Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable, aside from being Jiudi's disciple, you also belong to the lineage of the National Master, don't you? In the mountains and seas of the past, that severed hand was not insane. It chose you as its first target because, like me, you do not belong to this immortal firmament continent. I come from the abode realm, and you from beyond the heavens. Or perhaps the sect of the National Master's lineage itself originates from beyond the heavens. The black-haired Wang Lin spoke calmly. With each word, Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable's face grew paler. At last, she bit her lip, raised her head, and met his gaze. My true body is still too soft-hearted. He should have seen the truth long ago, but he chose not to believe. The black-haired Wang Lin shook his head. Raising his right hand, his expression calm yet merciless, he brought down his palm toward Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable. He meant to kill. That palm could shatter her body, destroy her soul, and bring physical and spiritual annihilation. Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable did not dodge. Tears streaked down her face as she closed her eyes, offering no explanation. Just as the palm was about to crush her crown, less than 3 inches away, her trembling body on the verge of collapse, a sharp force suddenly erupted behind her, enough to shatter heaven and earth, annihilate the void. A figure appeared, slightly hunched, like an old man. His left hand grabbed Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable and pulled her back, while his right hand thrust forward, colliding with the palm of black-haired Wang Lin. The impact resounded like thunder, shaking the heavens. Black-haired Wang Lin staggered back several steps, his body echoing with booming cracks, as if about to explode. His black robe shattered into black mist at the 7th step, only to instantly reform into its robe form. By the 9th step, He steadied himself, his expression unchanged, coldly glaring at the old man who had saved Heisey. Judy. That old man was none other than Heavenly Venerable Judy. His expression was grave as he pulled Ocean Child Heavenly Venerable to safety, his eyes fixed upon Wang Lin. This killing scheme, it wasn't just the lineage of the National Master. You were part of it too. The black-haired Wang Lin's voice was calm. Slaughter and destruction. My true body has always wondered. How did you manage to break through the 17th layer of Heavenly Venerable Ascension? With your cultivation, even possessing soul armor, you could never have reached that level. It turns out that within you exists a power representing slaughter and destruction. The Grand Heavenly Venerable Judy's pupils contracted slightly. His earlier palm strike, infused with the power of a Grand Heavenly Venerable, had only pushed the opponent back by 9 steps. Is this the reason you're involved in this massacre? Or perhaps, you sense this massacre and intend to use it to resolve the doubts in your heart? Wang Lin, with his black hair and calm eyes, his gaze even colder now, spoke. In a flash, he took a step forward, heading directly towards Judy. This was the first time he was attacking a Grand Heavenly Venerable, but his movement did not provoke any disdain from Judy. Rather, it made him even more serious. As he raised his right hand, the world seemed to change color. The wind and snow in the air instantly gathered and transformed into a giant snow sword, sweeping towards Wang Lin. I represent destruction and hold the power of slaughter. Wang Lin, with his black hair, raised his right hand. At the moment the snow sword fell, he clenched his fist and struck. The collision between his strike and the snow sword produced a thunderous roar. The snow sword shattered instantly, but Wang Lin's body also shattered, turning into countless tendrils of black mist. In an instant, they changed direction and surged towards Judy. Judy furrowed his brows. As the black mist rushed toward him, he raised both hands, forming a circular seal in front of him. A brilliant light erupted, bright enough to illuminate the world. The light spread outward, immediately clashing with the incoming black mist. The clash between light and dark resulted in a deafening roar. Within moments, the light faded, but Judy did not move. Instead, his eyes gleamed with a terrifying light. The black mist before him blocked the light, then reformed into the figure of Wang Lin. You cannot defeat me. The Grand Heavenly Venerable Judy looked at Wang Lin, his aged face showing signs of turning into that of a middle-aged man, his eyes glowing with intense brilliance. You cannot hide from the destruction of slaughter. Wang Lin spoke slowly. White-haired Transcendent Heavenly Venerable. Black-haired Transcendent Heavenly Venerable. Wang Lin, I underestimated you. This time, Heisey is innocent. Take this item, and from this moment on, today's matter will be wiped clean. Judy raised his right hand, grasping the air. Golden light flashed, and a palm-sized golden shard appeared in his hand. I've observed the sword marks on your body. This shard will help you perfect your metal origin, Judy said, swinging his hand. The shard shot towards Wang Lin and floated motionlessly in front of him. With the shard of the Immortal Extreme sword in his possession, Judy gave Wang Lin a deep, meaningful look. He turned and vanished with the silent, Heisey Heavenly Venerable in a flash. With his disappearance, the binding of this long street was lifted, but the ruins around them remained, unchanging, eternal. The long street lay still as the first light of dawn gradually rose from the distant horizon, attempting to dispel the darkness and bring light to the world. Wang Lin stood there, gazing up at the sky, silent for a long time. As time passed, the first rays of sunlight broke through, spreading across the land like ripples, slowly pushing back the darkness. The blackness turned to light, visibly moving eastward across the eastern district of the ancestral city. As the light reached the long street, Wang Lin remained motionless. He watched as the light approached him, enveloping his body and sweeping over him. His hair, once black, gradually turned white as the light passed. His cold eyes and icy expression shifted, transforming into exhaustion and desolation. He made no attempt to suppress the overwhelming presence of slaughter within him, knowing full well that when slaughter descends, nothing can change it. From this day forth, under the sunlight, I am white-haired Wang Lin, and in the coming darkness, I will be black-haired Slaughter Silence. Like the rising and setting of the sun, it is hard to change. Fortunately, I possess the power of the Void Avatar, which can slightly suppress it and keep me clear-headed. The black and white within Wang Lin's body stood still, eternally fixed. With a soft sigh, Wang Lin chose not to continue pursuing thoughts about Heisei. He raised his right hand, taking the immortal extreme sword shard into his possession, picked up the discarded Heavenly Ox soul armor, and turned away to leave. I must leave. Everything about this immortal clan, whether secret or its origin, I no longer wish to think about. Wang Lin's figure disappeared into the distance, and as dawn broke, the snow continued to fall, thick as goose feathers. The snow had been falling for a long time, and it kept falling until the morning of the second day, blanketing the earth like a thick cotton coat. On that second morning, Wang Lin stood outside the east gate of the eastern district with Lu Jinbiao and Haolong. He turned back and looked at the ancestral city, waiting calmly. Before long, under Lu Jinbiao's eager gaze, he excitedly spotted two figures approaching from the distance. One of them was dressed in a bright red robe. It was Su Ligua. Su Ligua looked utterly lost. For days he had felt a constant pull deep within his soul, a calling that had finally led him here, to the east gate, on this very morning. Beside him swaggered the madman. He too had come for the same reason, an inexplicable summons that had left him restless and irritable, pushing him to show up just to see what awaited. Huh? You. Damn it. You actually dare to appear before me again. From afar, the madman instantly recognized Wang Lin. His eyes bulged, sleeves rolled up, and he prepared to charge forward. Su Ligua also froze when his gaze fell upon Wang Lin. Su Ligua, I'm leaving. Are you staying here, or will you follow me? Wang Lin, sighing inwardly, ignored the madman's rush and fixed his eyes on Su Ligua, speaking slowly. Those words pierced into Su Ligua's very soul. His mind thundered as if a sealed memory had loosened. In a flash, fragments of forgotten history surged forth. He remembered Wang Lin. He remembered being refined by him into a demon head. He remembered the millennia spent following at his side. He remembered everything, his past, and the words of that fated star of slaughter. His memory continued to recover, all the way up to the instant before he reincarnated upon leaving the abode realm. Then it fully awakened. And Master! Su Ligua's body trembled, his eyes wide with ecstatic shock. He rushed forward, pushing past the madman, and even shoved the smugly grinning Lu Jinbiao aside without hesitation. After forcing Lu Jinbiao back a few stumbling steps, Su Ligua stood in his place, his joy melting into the habitual flattery of old. Master, little Su has finally found you. All these years, every night in my dreams I would see you, yearning for the day of reunion. Master, my loyalty to you has never changed, not with the passage of time, not across past or present lives. You are my master. You were in my last life. You are in this one, and you will be in the next, and the next, and the next. Master, don't abandon me. Take me with you. Even if it means climbing mountains of blades or plunging into seas of fire, Su Ligua will not frown for even a moment. Though I met you later than others, I have served you the longest. Some may have been lucky to find you earlier, but could their devotion ever compare to mine? Master, I have finally found you. As he spoke, Su Ligua squeezed his eyes tightly, forcing out a few tears that trickled down his cheeks. Lu Jinbiao, stunned, could only gape in silence. Even while crying out in frenzied devotion, Su Ligua still cast Lu Jinbiao a vicious glare, as if declaring that he, Su Ligua, was truly the master's right-hand man. Humph, no one knows this star of slaughter better than me. When your grandpa Su followed him, you, little Jinbiao, were still swindling in some alley. And you dare to vie for favor with me? That smug look of yours just now. Were you thinking you could surpass me? Huh, clearly. I'll have to educate you further. Remind you that your grandpa Su is not to be trifled with. Startled by Su Ligua's glare, Lu Jinbiao shuddered. The man's lingering menace cast a heavy shadow over him, one he could not easily shake. Just as he hesitated to speak, a sudden roar came from his shoulder. There, perched on him, was the sea dragon, shrunken to the thickness of a finger. At the sound of Su Ligua's name, it snapped its head up, eyes blazing with fury, and bellowed at him. The roar startled Su Ligua, making him jump. Lu Jinbiao's face immediately twisted back into smugness. If not for Wang Lin's presence, he would have burst out laughing. Huh. Good thing I prepared beforehand. With the sea dragon here, Su Ligua, let's see how arrogant you can be now. Lu Jinbiao sneered, stroking the sea dragon's back with one hand while shooting Su Ligua a provocative glance. Wang Lin ignored the sparks flying between them. Instead, he turned his gaze toward the madman, who had frozen in place after hearing Su Ligua's words. By now, the madman had completely forgotten his quarrel with Wang Lin. He stared at Su Ligua, tears welling in his eyes. Little Red, what did you just say? Am I not your master? Why is he your master? Tell me, am I your master, or is he your master? Who really is your master? The madman's voice trembled with panic as he grabbed Su Ligua by the arm. Only then did Su Ligua remember this companion at his side. He turned to look at him, and as his restored memories surged, his expression toward the madman shifted, eerily similar to the way he had once looked when scheming with Lu Jinbiao in the Abode Realm, deceiving others for their blood. Let go. Your grandpa Su has only one master, and that master is the one whose murderous aura bursts forth, a sovereign of wisdom and might. As he spoke, he quickly glanced at Wang Lin, a bead of cold sweat sliding down his back. He cursed himself inwardly. After so many years away from this ominous star, he had nearly misspoken. Get away from me. Stop pestering your grandpa Su. Su Ligua shook himself free, stepped back a few paces, lifted his chin, and puffed out his chest to show his loyalty. The madman's face twisted with grief, his eyes immediately turning red. He suddenly roared at Wang Lin. It's you. You hurt little Huahua's grandpa, and you stole away my little Red. My little Red. Little Red. Little Red. The madman lunged forward, hands reaching to strangle Wang Lin. Wang Lin looked at the noisy madman before him, his gaze complicated. With a soft sigh, he whispered, Madman, I came to this ancestral city only to see you once more. If you can't remember me, then let all the past in the Abode Realm be nothing but a dream. Madman, I'll take my leave. He closed his eyes, allowing the madman's hands to tighten around his throat. Moments later, a gentle force spread out from his body, pushing the madman back several zhang. Wang Lin opened his eyes again, turned, and walked toward the plains beyond the city. Su Ligua and Lu Jinbiao quickly followed, ignoring the madman entirely. As they trailed behind Wang Lin, their gazes locked, Su Ligua fuming while Lu Jinbiao wore a smug grin. Perched on Lu Jinbiao's shoulder, the sea dragon glared at Su Ligua with the same venom. Damn it, Su Ligua muttered inwardly. Your grandpa Su only has one pair of eyes, but that bastard Lu Jinbiao and his ugly snake together have two pairs. I need to think of something, or else my position won't last. As the three figures grew distant, the madman stood at the city gates, staring at them with vacant eyes, mumbling incessantly. Little Red, why did you leave like this? Damn that man, daring to steal my Little Red. I'll tell my brother. No, I'll tell my master. Humph, my master is incredible. The madman froze suddenly, snapping his head up to gaze far into the distance at the white-robed figure walking away. Wang Lin. His body trembled as though some inner seal was loosening, memories clawing their way back. Abode Realm. Wang Lin. Void, awakening. His trembling worsened, and with a thunderous boom in his mind, a vision burst forth. In it, he had once saved this very man, shared in a dreamlike existence with him. In that dream, he had ceaselessly searched for the mark left on his arm, the imprint of a palm. Almost unconsciously, he lifted his arm. Looking down, he saw that on his once bare skin, a palm-shaped imprint was slowly surfacing. It felt as though someone had gripped his arm tightly, refusing to let go for a very long time. Unaware, tears spilled from his eyes, tracing down his cheeks, dripping onto the snow at his feet. Memories stirred. He remembered. He had encountered a corpse in the Abode Realm, and with his own blood, he had brought it back to life. He remembered. That corpse was called Wang Lin, and after revival, he had treated him with kindness. He remembered the scenes of Dream Dao, one after another. He remembered awakening once more to see his brother, and then everything had become blurry. His memories sealed, his brother seemingly having cast some divine ability upon him. All that remained was a faint impression of his brother's merciless gaze, eyes cold and pitiless. That gaze had filled him with terror, had driven him to think only of seeking Wang Lin's protection. He remembered. Wang Lin, Wang Lin, Wang Lin. Master, the madman suddenly cried out, his body shaking violently. His voice thundered through heaven and earth, reaching Wang Lin in the distance. Wang Lin's body shuddered. That cry of Master, that repeated call of his name, its meaning struck his heart like a lightning bolt. He spun around sharply. In that instant, his pupils contracted. Behind the madman, at the city gate, a golden vortex had appeared. From within, a man stepped forth. He wore imperial robes and an emperor's crown. It was the immortal emperor. His eyes were gentle as he placed his right hand on the madman's shoulder. At that touch, the madman's eyes clouded with confusion, and the palm imprint on his arm vanished without a trace. Wang Lin, the immortal emperor said with a smile, "You wish to leave, and I will not stop you." Dao Fei's memories seemed to be recovering. I shall take him to the seclusion grounds beneath the imperial palace, where perhaps he can fully awaken. With a shimmer, the immortal emperor stepped back into the golden vortex, the bewildered madman vanishing with him. The snow still fell, the wind still blew. As though nothing had happened, as though all had been an illusion. From afar, Wang Lin stood in silence, watching. After a long moment, his eyes blazed with an unrestrained, boundless brilliance. Again, the immortal progenitor's seclusion grounds. His words revealed even more. The immortal progenitor's seclusion grounds lay beneath the imperial palace. This move of his was clearly meant to force me there. Wang Lin's expression darkened as his gaze fixed on the ancestral city. The madman's call just now, that was his memory awakening. All of this, perhaps, was orchestrated by that immortal emperor. He used the madman as bait, forcing me to stay, driving me toward that underground palace. First came the titles and rewards. When I refused to go to the underground palace, there was the Long Street massacre. If that massacre was tied to a scheme, then the immortal emperor was surely involved. He wanted to seize me in that trap. But when it failed, and because my slaughter descended, I ended up clashing with Heavenly Venerable God. And so, unwilling to act directly, he devised another plan, using the madman to lure me into that underground palace. The immortal progenitor's seclusion grounds, the underground palace, what secret lies hidden there? Why does this immortal emperor repeatedly force me to go? Should I, or should I not? In silence, Wang Lin suddenly lifted his head, his eyes flashing with firm resolve. Some paths, even knowing the danger, some people still must walk. Drawing a deep breath, Wang Lin lifted his right hand, and with a sweep, drew Su Ligua, Lu Jinbiao, and the sea dragon into his storage dimension. Alone, he stepped once more into the morning's wind and snow, returning to the ancestral city. This time, his destination was the underground palace. Turning back against the storm, he strode toward the city. In his hand rested a jade slip, one of his anchors for entering the ancestral city. It was the agreement he had made in years past with the twin Grand Heavenly Venerables and Solitary Cliff Heavenly Venerable. When Wang Lin required it, the twin Grand Heavenly Venerables would personally descend. This was the promise both Solitary Cliff Heavenly Venerable and the twin Grand Heavenly Venerables had given him. Because of this jade slip, even knowing the immortal emperor was his enemy, Wang Lin still came. Beneath the east gate of the city, where the snow was thinned by the wall's shelter, Wang Lin stood in the shadows and glanced at the jade slip in his hand. Then he crushed it. The instant it shattered, twin beams of violet-red light flared, weaving into a strange formation before him. It radiated an ancient aura, its intricate lines faintly revealing a power of teleportation. As its light pulsed, two small figures appeared within, a pair of little girls, eyes half shut as if summoned from sleep. One clutched a doll in her arms. So sleepy. Where's this place? Little Wang Lin. It's you. They looked around. Then their eyes landed on Wang Lin, and at once their faces lit with delight. Wang Lin greets the twin Grand Heavenly Venerables. He clasped his fists in respect. No need for that. No need. We missed you after you left. Didn't think we'd meet again so soon. By the way, where's little Biaozi? Hurry, bring him out. Yeah, I miss little Biaozi too. Both little girls looked eager and excited. "This is the ancestral city of the Immortal clan," Wang Lin said calmly. "Do you still remember our agreement from back then?" "Agreement? Ah, yes. You said when the time came, we'd help you once. Is that now? Who dares trouble our little Wang Lin? Humph. Whoever it is, we'll make it right for you." The two girls instantly perked up, their love for fighting written all over their faces. "I asked that the twin Grand Heavenly Venerables restrain the Immortal Emperor for some days. I must enter the underground palace." Wang Lin's voice softened as he looked at them. "The Immortal Emperor? No problem." The two girls exchanged a look. In their pure eyes flickered a trace of solemnity, but they asked no questions. With a flash, their bodies turned into twin rainbows shooting straight toward the distant Imperial Palace. Moments later, the ground trembled faintly. From the heart of the ancestral city, the Imperial Palace thundered. At the city gate, feeling the earth shudder, Wang Lin closed his eyes. Slaughter descends upon the world, replacing light with extinction. I, Wang Lin, willingly sink into annihilation. His murmured words hung in the air as his long white hair, beginning at the roots, swiftly turned black. As the change spread, even the snow falling from the sky altered. The snow turned black. Black snowflakes spiraled down, gathering into a storm. It howled across the heavens. At the instant Wang Lin's hair became entirely black, every flake in the skies turned to black snow. Falling from the heavens, that snow blanketed the morning sky, casting the eastern district of the ancestral city into utter darkness. Above, endless black snow raged, veiling most of the heavens. Wang Lin opened his eyes, now cold and merciless. The black-haired Wang Lin should have appeared under a black sky. But with his divine art, he dyed the snow itself, smothering the heavens with black snow, turning light into darkness. From a distance, the ancestral city looked eerily strange. Its eastern quarter was shrouded in night, while the rest remained in daylight. Cultivators in the eastern district rushed out of their chambers, lifting their heads toward the heavens. Shock and dread were etched across every face. Almost at once, they felt it, the merciless aura of destruction seeping from the east gate. It was neither domineering nor frenzied, yet everyone who sensed it thought only of death, only of the end of days. Wang Lin walked forward slowly. His white robe was gradually consumed, replaced by tendrils of black mist that coiled around him, cloaking his form until nothing remained visible but an ever-thickening shroud of darkness. As he advanced, the black snow in the skies above the eastern district spread like an invasion of night, swallowing the light. With each step he took, the darkness expanded further across the heavens. I had already put away slaughter and destruction. I was prepared to leave this place. Yet, Immortal Emperor, since you insist on drawing me here, then today, you shall bear the beginning of annihilation. Wang Lin's voice rolled forward as the black mist around him churned like flames, blazing as though to incinerate heaven and earth. Wherever he passed, cultivators trembled, seized by a terror rooted deep within their souls. To their eyes, the black mist seemed the natural enemy of life itself, the destroyer of all living beings. The black snow beneath his feet melted, corroding the age-old bluestone and leaving behind a wasteland of ruin. None could tell if it was the corruption of slaughter or the rot of melted snow. Buildings around him withered and crumbled as if they had endured countless ages in a single breath, collapsing into ash and dust. Step by step, Wang Lin advanced from the eastern district toward the Imperial Palace at the heart of the ancestral city. Though the distance was vast, every stride he took sent ripples of black energy surging outward. Those ripples fused him seamlessly with the darkness, making his pace appear unhurried. Yet in truth, only dust stirred in his wake as he moved with frightening speed. The darkness devoured the skies, surging from the eastern district toward the palace. Few dared to block his path. Horrified, they could only watch from afar as the shadow consumed the light. By the time Wang Lin reached the palace grounds, a trail of ruins stretched behind him. The city itself was gone, reduced to nothing but the dust of history. Outside the palace, tens of thousands of black armor Imperial guards stood in formation, their eyes locked grimly on Wang Lin. Behind them, countless figures flew out from every corner of the palace. Above, the skies writhed with storm and thunder. Two suns appeared, one purple, one golden. Within the purple sun stood the twin grand heavenly venerables. Within the golden sun, clad in imperial robes, was the immortal emperor. The clash of these two powers made the heavens roar, waves of force rippling outward in all directions. Twin grand heavenly venerables. Wang Lin dares intrude upon the imperial palace, defying the immortal progenitor. Such actions are rebellion against the immortals. Will you two remain so obstinate? The immortal emperor's voice thundered across the sky, accompanied by awe-inspiring divine arts. Standing before the palace, Wang Lin suddenly lifted his head. The black mist surrounding him drew inward, condensing into a black robe upon his body. His black hair lengthened as he fixed his gaze upon the golden sun above, his eyes cold, devoid of the slightest trace of emotion. As his black aura solidified into the robe, the darkness in the heavens spread like spilled ink, surging madly outward. The world seemed split into three realms, black, gold, and in between, the purple sun, the Long Street Massacre. I never wished to pursue it. I only wanted to leave, to keep slaughter and destruction from descending upon the world. But you forced me here with your madness. And now I have come. Wang Lin's eyes grew even colder, those emotionless pupils sweeping across the palace gates, the tens of thousands of black armor imperial guards, and the countless figures soaring from within the palace. He raised his foot and stepped forward. In that instant, his entire body burst outward, transforming into a vast black cloud that swept relentlessly toward the front. The tens of thousands of guards roared in unison, their armor erupting with black light. Together, they unleashed a towering murderous aura. The gathered force of so many men fused into one, roaring as it coalesced into a colossal beast. It was a dragon specter, dragon's head and tail, but no body, its form like that of a turtle. Upon its shell were etched countless snarling totems of wraiths and ghosts. This beast is not a black tortoise. Among the immortal clan, it bears a unique name, Dragon Spectre. Tortoise and spectre, one word, the same sound. The Dragon Spectre, soul of the black armor imperial guards, was born from countless years of accumulated murderous aura. Now, as it appeared, it roared and charged straight toward the black cloud that Wang Lin had transformed into. In the blink of an eye, it collided with the black cloud. Yet the instant its body touched, it trembled violently and let out a piercing, mournful scream. No matter how overwhelming the murderous aura, no matter how sharp the killing intent, in the face of slaughter and destruction, all would vanish like smoke. The black cloud that was Wang Lin did not pause for even a breath. Sweeping forward, it shattered the trembling dragon specter. Below, tens of thousands of black armor imperial guards spewed blood, their bodies as though struck by a colossal force, flung backward in disarray. The massive gates of the imperial palace, as the black cloud howled past, seemed to endure the passage of endless years in a single instant. They rotted away, collapsing abruptly. With their fall, darkness descended from the heavens. Everywhere Wang Lin's black cloud swept across, the ground of the palace turned pitch black, and every structure around the gates crumbled into ash. The tens of thousands of guards hurled back were stricken with terror. But as the black cloud spread, earth-shaking screams erupted. When it swept through their ranks and then reformed in the plaza into Wang Lin's black-haired figure, those tens of thousands of black armor imperial guards had all perished, nothing left but remains. A gust of wind blew. Even their remains scattered into ash.